Hi, it's Matthew Dixon of mindaid.ca, and I've got schizophrenia. I'm 49. I got diagnosed when I was 22 back in 1994. And in the 90s, you couldn't talk about mental illness as much, definitely not schizophrenia. If I wanted to start a conversation with somebody about mental illness, I had to pick and choose who I mentioned the word mental health to. Quite different from how it is now in 2021. We've been talking about mental health so much more in the last decade or so. But yeah, I'd have to I'd approach somebody and say I might throw out the word mental health, see how that goes. If that went okay, I'd maybe throw out the word depression, see how that goes with somebody. And if that went okay, then I might throw out the word schizophrenia. I didn't just blurt that out to anybody. And I didn't meet many people with schizophrenia. It's not something that we would readily acknowledge to people when we first met them. So I didn't, for all the people that I saw in public who did have schizophrenia, but I never knew because nobody talked about it, I I never saw too many people who had the disease. I never met them. And in the media, there weren't many people portrayed with mental illness. When the movie A Beautiful Mind came out with Russell Crowe, that was huge for the schizophrenia world. Finally, an accurate portrayal of schizophrenia. Lauren Kennedy of she's got a YouTube channel, Living Well with Schizophrenia. I've blanked on her last name. I'm pretty sure it's Lauren Kennedy. Anyway, Living with Schizophrenia. She does a uh, she takes the movie A Beautiful Mind and goes through it and sees how much of it is accurate. But at the time when it came out, it was huge, and there might be some things that are not quite right with it, but for the most part, it was a huge change in the way people with schizophrenia were portrayed in the media. And yeah, flash for fast forward to 2020 with the pandemic, and there's a girl, Cecilia Mago. I think that's how you say her last name, Mago. She has a platform called Students with Psychosis. It was originally called Students with Schizophrenia. She has a TED Talk out called that she put out in 2015 called "I Am Not a Monster: Schizophrenia," and she talks about her experience with schizophrenia. And I thought, 2015. That's a long time to go. Still using the same word monster with schizophrenia. And it was also the same year that the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said when he was asked, "Why did you make half the cabinet female?" And he said, "Because it's 2015. It's the modern era. It's the future. We're here, and things should change." And I felt the same thing about Cecilia Mago in 2015. Are we still talking about the word monster with schizophrenia? People with schizophrenia are no more prone to violence than the rest of the general population. It's like saying people who wear glasses or who are left-handed are are violent or something. It's it's ridiculous, really, from what I understand, from my mere understanding of the disease. I'm not an expert in all this, but that's what I'm thinking about these days. So anyway, Cecilia on her platform, she started doing Zooms with her schizophrenia and psychosis student advocates. They have chapters around the world in universities. And I started for the first time seeing pictures of many other people on these Zooms. They'd take a group photo of the Zoom with everybody's camera on them, like 20 or so people in one shot. For the first time, I saw other people with schizophrenia, many other people. I'd never seen so many people with schizophrenia before, and it amazed me. It's like, wow, this is what we look like. Normal, just like everybody else. And yeah, that really hit me. That was from 94 to 2020. What's that, 26 years of never even seeing anybody with the same thing as me. I'm like, these are all people with the same thing as me, with cancer or even dementia. Dementia, even though it's been portrayed inaccurately in the media for many years, it's we know, we've seen so many pictures in the media, and movies and films of people with dementia and cancer. So yeah, things have come a long way, and I'm so happy for that. We still have a further to go with schizophrenia. On my platform, on social media, on the internet, I tell people I've got schizophrenia. Still in public, if I'm in a coffee shop or out on the sidewalk somewhere, and I'm starting to say the word schizophrenia in a conversation with somebody, still to this day, I lower my voice when I say the word schizophrenia. I I don't like that about me, but it's just the way it is. I don't know who's around. I don't know what people think, and it shouldn't be that way. So if you want to say the word schizophrenia out loud in public, that'll do me a great deal of happiness if more people just started talking about this and saying it, and it being okay to say the word in public, because I struggle with it. And it would be wonderful if we could just say, look, we don't have to be afraid. People with schizophrenia are no more violent than the rest of the general population. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.